Yo guys, so here I have the Shimano hydraulic brakes. I'm just going to open them up right now. Alright, so I've opened it up, so let's just take the brakes out now. So here we have the brakes. Let me just take the wrapping off them first. So here's the front one. I've got the right sizes as well, so that's good. I've got the left hand lever with the longer caliper and the front hand lever with the shorter caliper. As you can see, they've got the Shimano branding here. I think that's the reservoir, is what you call it. Here we have where you put your Allen key to take the oil out. We also have the reach adjuster that uses an Allen key as well. Here we have where it connects onto the bars. It's just like a standard, well, I don't know what you call it. It looks really cool. The lever's not actually that long. I thought it'd be a lot longer, but it's actually, I think it's a nice size. Here we have the caliper. It does come with brake pads and a chalk already in it, so you don't have to worry about pressing your lever while it's installed. But you do have the Shimano branding there, the hose, 2 pistons, looks pretty good. It has 2 mounting holes that you use to put onto your frame. So yeah, the caliper looks pretty nice as well. It's quite small as well. I just want to say that these brakes feel a lot better than mechanical brakes. Feels really nice. It's exactly how I wanted it, and it's going to be a lot more powerful than most mechanical brakes. I'm saying most, but probably all at this point. Alright guys, so I've unboxed these brakes and it's been about a month since I've been using them, and I'm about to give you my review on what I think of these brakes and if it's worth buying it for £35 a set. So as soon as I got it, I was pretty shocked on how responsive and sharp it was. It's a really nice lever feeling compared to my old Tektro cable disc brakes. So yeah, these are a much better upgrade if you have like a Carrera Hellcat or Carrera Vengeance, but I'm not sure how you do it on those bikes since you need to cut the old lever off. I've done it for a friend where I've cut his old lever off and his shifter's still there. So yeah, changing your brakes in a Carrera Vengeance isn't easy. But anyways, to the subject of the brakes. These are really good. These are definitely worth your money. £35 a set. I don't think you can find any brakes around that price point that work as well as this. So I've been using these for wheelies, a few jumps and a little bit of trail work really, but quite light trails, nothing like Seth's bike hack level trails. But these are very good brakes. Don't get me wrong, they're not supposed to be really good. They are budget brakes. Keep in mind they're Shimano Altus tier. That's the kind of branch or level you're looking in terms of the Shimano like system thingy. But yeah, so these aren't the sharpest brakes, but they are pretty sharp when you pull with 2 fingers, because keep in mind this is meant to be a 2-finger brake, and I've been using this for 1-finger braking, so because that's what I do in wheeling. So yeah, if you're going to use 2 fingers, then this is perfect. It's really sharp, really responsive. It's cheap, it's good, you know. I definitely recommend getting this. If you're going to use 1 finger, it's a bit of a different story, because you're not getting the kind of sharpness you would find on something like a Shimano Dior or an XT or SLX. You can definitely kind of feather these brakes though. I've felt Dior brakes before, and they're more tappy and very sharp. There's not much modulation in these. In them I mean, but in these brakes there are. You can hold in the middle and they still do press on the pads quite well. So this brake does just use mineral oil, as you can see, just like any other Shimano brake, which is good because if you have any other brakes with disc brakes in them from Shimano, they can use the same oil on these. Now these do have a reach adjustment here, and I have used them. This is the reach adjustment. So the reach adjustment's pretty useful. All it does is really just move your lever out this way or inwards, but I haven't changed it too much really. I've just moved a little bit more outwards circling, so it's a bit easier to use my 1 finger. So for wheelies, this brake is perfect if you're starting off, that is. So like me, if you're a beginner and you're just starting to get into wheelies, then this is the perfect brake. It's sharp, responsive. You're not going to feel scared on tapping the brake when you feel like you're going to fall on the back. So that's a plus point. However, if you're more experienced with wheelies or just biking in general, then you might want to upgrade to a Shimano Dior or an XT because they're much sharper and just worth your money. But really, for what you're paying with these brakes, these are really good. So on the topic of wheeling, which is basically what I do mainly on this bike, I've basically been able to bring my wheelie distance from a maximum of 10 seconds to about 44, which is pretty insane. That's in about a month. So I went from being a noob to actual decent. You know, I could do no foot now. I can do kind of a one hand. I could do a frame hold, bar hold. So yeah, I'll get some clips of those in, and my distance clip if you want to see that. But yeah, this brake, if you're starting off, this is definitely the kind of brake you want when you're starting off. There are other options as well. Keep in mind, there are the Clark's brakes. They're pretty much the same really. It's just the name that's different. You know, these are obviously Shimano and Clark's. You know, they're not as much of a reputable brand, but basically they work the same. So would I recommend these brakes to certain people? Yes. If you're starting off biking or wheeling and you just want the hydraulic brakes just right there for a cheap amount, then this is perfect. You know, the lever feels really good. That's 1 plus point. It's not the sharpest, but you definitely got modulation in there. You can feather the brakes. Yeah. For more experienced riders, it's okay, but I would recommend getting more sharper brakes, just because if you're going to move from something like a Dior to this, then you're going to find that these are quite underpowered. So this is the caliper, which is pretty small. I think it's smaller than my old cable disc brake caliper. Yeah, it definitely is, but it looks pretty sleek with the small Shimano branding. It's kind of dirty, but it's just dirt, don't worry. But yeah, I do want to say I'm using my old Tektro discs on there, so if you just want to swap out your brake and leave the discs in, then it's perfectly fine to do that. I've had zero issues with these except on my front brake. It was squeaking a bit. I'm pretty sure that's because I got some contaminants in there while cleaning, but I don't have a front brake anymore, as you can see. If you want to use your old rotor, that's perfectly fine. Just make sure you do clean the rotors first, because you don't want some of your old brake pad compound mixing with the Shimano ones, if you get what I mean, because it might lead to like squeaking, like a lot of squeaking. So to clean it, all I really use is brake cleaner from Muck Off, but you can use isopropyl alcohol or nail varnish, I think. I'll let you know if you can use that, but yeah. As you can see, I've taken my front disc brake off, and there's nothing wrong with the brake. I've just taken it off just because I only use my rear one for wheeling. And don't get me wrong, the front one was perfectly fine. It was probably sharper than my rear one actually, but I just like the clean aesthetic of the no rotors and no front brake. So I've basically got a clean right side, but I've still got the left shifter on here, but I need to take that off, as well as the derailleur. I really want to change this to a one by. I don't know if it's worth doing it on this bike, but yeah, I'll look into that. So that's the reason why I don't have a front brake. So that's my review on these brakes. I would definitely recommend these to the certain amount of people that I've discussed earlier. But yeah, make sure you subscribe, because I'm going to be posting a lot more on this bike, and maybe other product reviews if I get any. I might do a review on some of the parts that I get. So yeah, make sure you subscribe, like and comment. If you have any questions, I will try my best to answer them on these brakes or on my bike in general. So yeah.
Well, boys, we hit the jackpot this time.
Ferno, you spazzing.